Hello everybody and welcome back to another pre-season race for season 6 in the SRL. So not many drivers today. I see some reserve drivers in here and new faces as well. This is only preseason, so points won't count. But I guess we'll figure out everybody's pace. Nerdy is reserving today. Some new faces: Wesley, Mopar. Never seen them before, so I think they're new drivers in the league, and new drivers in Tier 1 as well who got promoted. Michael, previous champion in Tier 2, will now be racing in Tier 1. Apollo Aston, who shown really great improvement and a lot of pace, will be challenged in Tier 1 for sure. And somebody else who's not here today is Nathaniel, who got promoted as well into Tier 1. All those drivers shown awesome pace throughout the last season in Tier 2, so really eager to see what they can accomplish for this season in Tier 1. On board with Max, first driver to set a hot lap on the mediums. So only 3 drivers trying the mediums so far. Clear condition for quali. Don't know about the actual race. A bit wide. Missed the apex right there. But it's only the first try, so really have to be careful on that curb. Easy to spin and lose a car. On this one as well. And nicely done, almost flat out by Max. Oh, and Razi is here as well. Razi, who won in Tier 3, will be now racing in Tier 2 for next season. A bit on the sausage curve, maybe too aggressive for Max. But yeah, Razi will be up for a challenge in Tier 2. Shown great pace as well. And Max sets a 17 flat. So who's next? I think Lanzi will be next one across the line. Validation. Wesley's on the out lap. What about his teammate Yari? Yari jumping in the pits. So we'll be up to Mercedes and validation for Sten and validation for El Trucker. So lots of invalidations. No invalidations yet for Delgizu. Nice apex. Not the greatest of exit, but will do. And a 17.6 on the mediums, and FaZe goes for a 16.4 on the softs, and SF Rock follows through with the 16.5. What about Michael Tibb? Will drive with Alpine this season, teaming up with former racer in Tier 2, Apollo. Nicely done by Michael. And Michael sets it 16.6, so not too far away from reigning champion FaZe Pantera. Razi. So who's coming up next? I think Merck will be crossing the line soon. Stan sets is 16.5. That trucker goes for a 16.7 on the mediums. Good lap. Wesley went for a 18.1 and Lindsay 26.3. So banker lap. Let's follow Razi. Razi's fuel is flashing, so don't know if he's gonna complete his lap. Yes, he will. And Razi sets his 17.3. What about Apollo? Oh, it's only banker lap. I think he's gonna come in. Oh, broken front wing for Apollo. And what about Johnny? Currently racing in Tier 3, but up for a challenge for this preseason race in Tier 1. Really good racer as well. Go, Johnny, go, go. Oh, and Elmerix has joined the session. Hope it's not gonna glitch this quali session though. What can Johnny do? And Johnny sets his 17.6 on 3 laps old soft, so pretty sure he can do better than that. What about Razi? Not pushing. Who's pushing? So maybe Yari? Yeah, Yari. On the mediums, but in validation. Mopar on an outlap. And phase as well. I think we'll stay on board with Mopar or maybe Yari. Yeah, we'll stick on board with Yari because he's starting a lap right now. So Yari on the mediums. Helmerich just joined the session. And Yari goes for purple sector 1 on the mediums. So I guess that phase will be up for a challenge now. And right on the line for Yari. A bit of a slow corner there. A bit more careful maybe. Or less grip with a medium compound. I don't think he's pushing because his battery is regenning. Maybe that's just me. And Yari goes for 19.8, so I don't think he was pushing at the end. Pretty sure he was on the regen mode. So let's go on board with the Mopar crossing the line. First attempt and a banker lap 21.9. Who's coming up next? I think FaZe. And bit through traffic for FaZe. SF Rock moving out of the way and a bit wide on the exit. No invalidation yet, and an improvement for FaZe. 16 flat. Solid lap. Let's go on board with Lanzi. Trying the mediums. Keep an eye on Yari. I think Yari will be crossing the line soon for his second attempt on the mediums. Should see Wesley No improvement for Wesley. What about Yari? Can he improve on the mediums? And Yari's at second position. And Lanzi will reset. So yeah, Yari with a 16.2 on the mediums, only 2/10 down on phase. Who is on softs, so quite impressive. A lot of traffic right now on track. Nice last few corners for Wesley. And what is it going to be? It's a 16.8 on the medium, solid lap. What about a trucker? No improvement. I think Yari will jump in the pits. And following up will be Michael, who's looking to improve, but he's not pushing, so. Not Michael, Apollo. Oh, but Apollo jumps in the pit. What about Mopar? I think Mopar will jump in the pits as well. Yes, he does. Dalgizu and validation, not a good quality for Dalgizu so far. So we'll jump in the pits and get fresh tires for maybe one last try. Stan jumps in the pits as well. And Max? Is it Max or is it Lanzi? Who retired on track. Razi crossing the line. No improvement. And what about a trucker? Trucker jumps in the pits. So I think everybody will jump in the pits and reset. So Michael jumps in the pits. So only two AlphaTauris on track right now. Razi not on a push lap. Nerdy out lap, and SF Rock just came out of the pit. And I think we'll get an Alpine coming out. So the first one, maybe Razi will jump in the pit. I think he's on the low fuel mode, I think. So limping back in the pit lane. Get a fresh pair of tires and try one last time. So we'll stick on board with Razi's teammate, Johnny. And here he goes. SF Rock will try to set a better time on the medium, so. Missed the apex at the chicane, but can he improve? No improvement for Johnny. Will he try one last time? And we got FaZe on a outlap. What about SF Rock? I think SF Rock invalidated, so... Oh, and there's a car on the grass. So... let's take on board with Dalgizu, a bit of a snap. And set a purple sector 2. I don't think he's... Is he still pushing? No, he's resetting his lap. What about Apollo? Validation for Apollo. Next up is Johnny. Johnny's improving right now. Almost 2/10 down on his previous time. And Johnny goes for 17.29 and FaZe sets a 15.7. So setting the bar higher and higher. Mopar is improving, coming at the end of sector 3. Nice apex right there. Looking really good for Mopar. And Mopar improves this time. 16.69. What about Dalgizu? No improvement. Maybe Rijad. Rijad invalidation for Rijad. What about Apollo, who hasn't set a time yet? 30 seconds left in quali. And Apollo goes for a 16.8. His teammate will follow through. And with... oh, he's in validation. Who's coming up next? Should have a Mercedes. A Cell Trucker. One last push for Mopar. What about SF Rock? So close to improve his previous time. Who was set on soft? What can he do on mediums? No improvements. 300s down. Up. Stan goes in the pits. Michael looking to improve. And Michael goes for 16.4. P4 at the moment. What about a trucker? And now trucker goes second fastest time with a 16.1. And I think that's it. And that's it for quali in Spain for the preseason race of season 6. So we got FaZe Pantera P1 and Trucker P2, Yari on the mediums P3. So great strategy from Yari. Stan P4, P5 for Michael Tibb, SF Rock P6, Mopar P7, Dalgizu P8, Apollo P9, Wesley P10, Max P11, Razi P12, Johnny P13, Lanzi P14, Elmerix P15, Rejad P16. Elmerix and Rejad has not set a time during the quali, so wondering what they can do throughout the race. Let's find out what the weather will be for the actual race. Looking good. So one stop is possible on this track. You're gonna get really worn tires, but it's doable. Really have to be careful on your left front tire, who will suffer the most. But yeah, it's doable. Soft to mediums or mediums to soft. It's waiting on the formation lap to start. So pretty much everybody at the back will start on the mediums except for Elmerix, who's trying more aggressive strategy. Don't know if it's gonna pay or not at the end. Depends on how many safety cars we get. And Yari, who is starting at the front on the mediums, will get a great advantage if he can pull it off. So most people will do a 2-stop, but 1 stop is doable. So really have to stretch your stints, like 11 laps on the softs and 22 laps on the mediums. Really have to be careful though, but yeah, I think it's a great strategy. And Rejad is really far behind. Don't know what he's doing. Thought we agreed to stay within 10 car lengths at the on the formation lap, so drivers don't get cold tires at the end. So luckily it's only pre-season race, but I mean, come on man, just follow the group. And away we go for the preseason race in Spain. And Michael is pushed on the grass. The 2 Mercedes will be side to side entering turn 1. El Trucker yields position with Stan. And a clean start so far. And there's a McLaren who has spun in the back. It's Max. And there's an Alpine wide. And now Michael jumps on the inside of SF Rock. And elbows are out already. And Face is already a second ahead on Stan. Rest of the grid is pretty much backed up. within 5/10 of each other. So really close racing right now, and a nice train forming up. Now Trucker chasing down his own teammate. Now side by side with Stan. Nice, nice view. But Al Trucker made the move on his teammate, entering turn 1. And now Al Trucker will have to push if he wants to get back within the second of Face Pantera. And yeah, Yari lost. He lost a position. Yeah, he lost one position at the start, but he's on the medium, so if he can carry that momentum throughout the first stint, he will be good. And Stan spins. Don't know if contact was made. They were really close, but I don't think he got pushed off. Maybe just too aggressive on that curb, which is really slippery. So Stan falls at the back of the pack. We'll have a lot of work to do, and now Elmerix is falling down. The order. And Max as well. Spun once again. So a lot of spinning happening in the first few laps. And DRS is enabled on this lap. Well, Elmerix jumps in the pits. And Michael looking good. Putting the pressure on Mopar. I think Elmerix had damage because it was pretty long pit stop. Del Gizu putting the pressure on Apollo. Great exit for Del Gizu. Using a bit of VRS. Is he gonna go for the move? At turn 1. A bit too far behind. And there's yellow in sector 1. And contact between Lanzi and Wesley. And Lanzi has terminal damage. I think we'll get safety car. Yes, safety car is out. And what will Soft Runners do? Are they gonna stay out or switch their strategy? Yari is clearly gonna stay out. What about FaZe? Is he going to jump in the pit? Or is he gonna stay out? And FaZe is jumping in. And Yari is jumping in as well. Wow, really surprised by that. Who stayed out? Apollo's jumping. Pretty much everybody's jumping in the pits. Razi's staying out. So both AlphaTauris are staying out. And Wesley is gonna come out. FaZe is gonna come out in front of Wesley. So SF Rock is on the arts and Stan as well. So they're both trying to make it to the end on this compound. And now both AlphaTauris are leading this Grand Prix. Emmerich with the penalty. I think it was a 3-second time penalty for... But yeah, really surprised that Yari jumped in the pit. I thought he would have stayed out and try to keep his main strategy. So really surprised about that. Oh, what's happening with to Rijad? Rijad spawned? Does he has wing damage? Yes, he does. So wing damage for Rijad. I guess we'll go for at least another lap on the safety car, which is really bad for momentum of this race. So Rijad is jumping in the pit. Is he gonna retire though? So 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Pretty sure he's gonna retire in the pit lane. So Rijad will keep on going. Really surprised about that. So we're just gonna have to wait on Rijad to join back. Maybe we'll get a race restart on this lap because safety car is quite slow around Spain. Going to be really, really close. So I think we'll go on another lap under safety car. Oh, nice. Safety car is in, so really lucky that the safety car is slow around this track. So Razzie is now in control of the pace. Reigning champion in Tier 3, now racing in Tier 2. And now leading in the preseason race in Tier 1. So, race is underway once again. And FaZe really pushing on Johnny and getting the inside and entering turn 1. And Johnny going wide will get passed by FaZe pretty easily. What about Wesley? Can he jump in as well? And yes, he does. Goes for the inside move. And now Johnny's falling down the order, getting passed by El Tracker as well. Will Yari go for the move as well? Yes, he does. What about Max? Bit of a mistake and a wibble, and Michael is now joining the fight. And Max made a mistake. Oh, and there's a car in the wall. Emmerich completely lost it and went directly in the wall, losing in Zanzar front wing. And now Nerdy is holding the back. So Michael has pressure to make the move really quickly on Johnny if he doesn't want to lose too many places. Johnny's not defending. Michael side by side with Johnny entering turn 1, and job is done. Emmerich is in the pit. Max gets the move done on Del Gizu. And now FaZe get back in front and moves in front of Razi. And contact happened between Richard and Stan. And now a trucker goes for a late braking on Wesley, and nicely done. A bit of a wibble as well for a trucker going wide, and Wesley's gonna get his place back. What about Yari? Can he jump in? No, he can't. Door is close. And Yari jumps in the pits. What's happening? Now a trucker moves in front of Wesley once again. And Razi is sticking up with FaZe at the moment. Does Yari? Yeah, Yari got damaged. And now Mopar goes for the move on Johnny, and Max is joining the fight. Max on the inside, and Johnny spins. And Johnny is in the gravel trap. And now Stan will pass him. Yes, he does. And feel sorry for Johnny. He had a great race, but is now fumbling. Max picks up a 3-second time penalty. Emmerich picks up another 3-second time penalty. And FaZe is pulling away, almost 2 seconds up ahead. Now a trucker in the DRS of Razi. Razi with only 10% ERS. I think he's gonna struggle now. Look at El Trucker. Now Trucker sets up a purple sector 1. Well, that means he's quick. Is he going to be able to make the move on this small DRS zone? Needs a good exit out of this turn. DRS open. And I think he's gonna go for it. And jumps on the inside, late braking. And nicely done by El Trucker. What about Wesley? Can he follow through? No. Now Emmerich picks up another 3-second time penalty. So that's 9 seconds penalties so far. So Johnny went in the pits and is going for the hard. Razi, 3-second time penalty. Caught it live going wide at the last turn. Wesley not close enough, and Razi defending well with DRS, and a bit of a snap by Wesley going in the gravel trap and getting passed by SF Rock and Apollo. And Wesley spins again. So Wesley stumbling down the order right there due to one mistake, and on board with Mopar pushing Max through every corners. And Max moves out of the way, but Mopar gets DRS, and Emmerich is DNF. Did he DNF on track? Did he have terminal damage? Don't know if we'll be able to see his car. Is he going to disappear before we get there? And his car disappeared. So virtual safety car only. Razi, SF Rock, and Apollo jumps in the pits. Razi and Apollo going for the hard tires, and SF Rock switched to mediums. And Nerdy struggling. No apparent damage for Nerdy. And just waiting on the virtual safety car to end. And now FaZe still leading, followed by El Trucker and Michael trying to step up on the podium for his first race in Tier 1. Only a preseason race, but nonetheless, that's El Trucker and FaZe in front of you. Challenge is still there, so back to racing in Catalonia. Mopar and the DRS of Max. A late dive entering turn 1, but not close enough. Not too many fights happening right now. I think the only one who's close enough is SF Rock with Razi. Maybe El Trucker will catch up to FaZe, and multiple penalties being distributed right now. Delgizu jumps back in the pits, or is he? Oh no, he just came out. I think he had a drive-through, yeah. Wesley now with a 3-second time penalty. SF Rock stuck behind Razi. Might be able to make a move here, and Max jumps in the pits. And what about SF Rock? DRS open. Razi defending. Going to be a late dive at turn 1. And Yari sets a fastest lap on hard compounds. Quite impressive. And SF Rock got the move on Razi at turn 1. Not much happening right now. Delgizu trying to make it in the DRS of Johnny. I think Johnny probably made a mistake, because he got 3/10 in one corner. SF Rock now with the fastest lap of this race. 18.7 on the mediums. So SF Rock trying to catch up to Rijad. Dagizu not close enough to make the move on Johnny, but clearly will be on the start finish line. And Johnny not even defending, he knows. Or maybe he will. Late defense for Johnny, but that won't be enough. Del Gizu just flying by. And Trucker picks up a 3-second time penalty. So El Trucker has 3-second time penalties. Rijad 8 seconds. Razi 3. Wesley 3. And Max 6. And now Wesley jumps in the pits. 14 laps old mediums won't make it to the end. And I think the front runners will have to pit once again. And there's a yellow in sector 1. That's not Johnny, Razi. Razi spun. No damage. But yeah, I think the front runners will have to pit once again, or maybe not. I think they will. So now SF Rock in the second. Was he? And Apollo spins. And yes, he was in the 1 second at the detection point. So DRS is open. Nerdy with a 3-second time penalty. And now Rijad is in the second of stand. So trying to push to be able to defend against SF Rock, who's coming really quickly. And Razi making the move on Apollo, who spun. Max as well got past Apollo. And Apollo DNF's on track. Oh, come on, man. Yo, that's a shitty move. You didn't have terminal damage, dude. And phase jumps in the pit. Come on, man. You know better than that. So I think all the medium runners would jump in the pit. Will Stand follows through. I think he will, because he's going to be way behind on slower compound. Yes, he will jump in the pit. Yo, that's a... And Rijad retires in the pit. So that puts... Well, there's no change in the first 4. And Razi and Max are staying out. So Right now, FaZe is leading in front of El Trucker, followed by Michael. Mopar coming up in 4th, Stan 5th. Razi on the 5 laps all R's coming up in 6th. SF Rock 7, Max 8, Yari P9, Wesley P10, Dalgizu P11, and Nerdy P12. What about the penalties? Oops. El Trucker has a 3-second time penalty, so that's his P1 possibility gone, I think. Unless he gets an amazing pace. So yeah, El Trucker has 3 seconds, Razi 3 seconds, Max 6 seconds, Yari 3 seconds, Wesley. What's happening at the back? Max in the pits now. Wesley 3 seconds and Nerdy 3 seconds. So Max will switch to mediums. So just waiting on Nerdy and Delgizu to join back. I think we'll go for another lap under safety car. Oh, and safety car is in. Didn't get a notice. So here we go. Once again. And great restart for Max, who got the move on Wesley. And now SF Rock on Razi. And SF Rock coming up like a train. Yari jumping on the inside of Razi. SF Rock is looking good. And Max will go for a late dive. No. Razi, another 3-second time penalty. FaZe Pantera pulling away from El Trucker. Both of them are pushing like crazy. And El Trucker draining his battery, trying to remain in the DRS zone, and FaZe picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that is El Trucker's chance. He needs to stay in the DRS of El Trucker if he wants to fight for P1. But don't count Michael out. Flirting with the second. Behind El Trucker. Pushing. To keep in touch with the front runners. And maybe a chance at P1. And Max makes the move on Razzie and Max spins. So no DRS yet. But will be on the next straight at the end of Sector 2. And Yari putting the pressure on SF Rock. And now Razzie is holding up the rest of the pack. And look at Michael. Giving his everything to stay in touch with El Trucker. Will have to defend against Mopar, clearly. And now Wesley gets the job done on Razzie. And there's Yellow in Sector 3. Stan falling down the order. Oh. And now Yari and Max DNF'd. Oh my god. Come on, man. So for the third time, we're gonna get a safety car. Ten laps to go. Don't know if people are gonna pit or not. I don't think they will. That would be a bit stupid unless you're at the back of the field. I guess we'll find out right now. Oh, and FaZe goes for the fake dive in the pit. And Yari jumps in the pits. Yarazi's in the pits. Only two drivers going for a tire change. And Yari goes aggressive on the softs. What will Razzie do? Razzie will go for softs as well. So just gonna wait on Razzie to get back with everybody, but I think we'll get a race restart on this lap. We'll be really close, I think. And we're gonna go for another lap. What's happening with FaZe? So, one last lap under safety car. So, a chance for Michael to get P1 is there. I mean, you just have to stay within 3 seconds of FaZe and El Tracker, and that's pretty much it. 8 laps to go in Spain. Full battery for everybody. So I guess we'll get a lot of action. On these last few laps. Well, safety car is in this lap. FaZe is going really slow. And here you go. Trying to create a gap between him and El Tracker, and I think it worked really good. And SRL got caught sleeping. And now Wesley trying to get on the outside line, but that won't work. And Yari picks up another 3-second time penalty. And Razi gets the job done on Johnny. They're just switching up position. And Nerdy on the outside. Ooh, a bit of contact between both AlphaTauri's drivers. And El Tracker out of the 1 second range. And there's yellow. That's Yari with terminal damage. Hope we won't get a safety car. So Yari's out of this race. Only 10 drivers left. Oh my days. The car disappeared. And we get this kind of late safety car. Wow. Lanzi, not Lanzi, but Nerdy in the pit, going for softs. And now we have to go for another full lap just to catch up to the safety car. Six laps to go. I think we're only gonna get 3. So that's just really bad for FaZe and El Tracker, who have 3 second, who both have a 3-second time penalty. is FaZe going to make the same move once again? And yes, he does! Look at him. Trying to get El Shocker to pit, but won't bite. But Wesley is in the pits. Now, it will have to slow down because safety car is almost to a complete stop on track. Wow, that was really close between the Haas and the Alpine. I just hope that Nerdy is gonna catch up the pack before the end of Sector 2, so we get at least 5 laps of race. And it's going to be really, really, really tight. I think we're gonna go for another full lap on their safety car. Sorry for everybody who's watching the stream right now. Oof. Thank you, Johnny, for pushing. Safety car is in. So. But yeah, once again, sorry if you find this stream a bit more boring. Yeah, we are getting a lot of safety car. So FaZe will have to restart the race for the 4th time now. Is he gonna go now? And yes, he does. And I don't think he caught a trucker sleeping. Now he was prepared. And look at El Trucker go. Jump on board. Really close behind FaZe. And Mopar looking good as well. And Stan now with a 3-second time penalty. Wesley moving past Razzie. And a bit of a wibble by SF Rock, but nicely caught. And now Michael is out of the DRS of El Shocker. Will he be able to stay within the 3-second? And detection point for DRS is right here after the chicane. But DRS is not enabled yet. And now Michael using all of his battery to stay within the range of El Trucker. Wesley now pushing Stan. Wesley with a lot more grip than Stan. Fresh, soft. Right in Stan's gearbox right now. Is he gonna wait on the straight? I think he will. Stan with 50% ERS, Wesley 60. Pushing him through every corners. Oh, and Mopar spins. And Mopar is in the wall at the pit entry, and DRS is enabled now. So that's Michael's pressure right there, gone. And a bit of a mistake at turn 1 for Michael, so almost 2 seconds behind. Oh, that's 3 seconds, almost 3 seconds behind FaZe. Let's look at leader, yeah. So he might steal El Trucker's place, but won't be able to get P1 if it keeps going like this. And Wesley really wide and bins it. No front wing. And Wesley with a 10-second time penalty, don't know why. And FaZe is pushing like hell. El Trucker, almost no ERS lap, penultimate lap of this race. Oh, and SF Rock with DRS has a look on the inside, but gets back behind. Think we're gonna get a great fight between SF Rock and Michael for the last lap of this race. And I think SF Rock is gonna get the timing really good. Needs to get a great exit out of the chicane. A bit far. 7 tenths behind Michael. Michael weaving. Draining his battery, and that won't be enough. Del Gizu gets the job done on Stan, but that won't be enough for SF Rock. The second DRS is too short, I think, unless Michael makes a mistake. But he's not known for that. And SF Rock really close, but too far behind. No late braking dive bomb. And Michael looking at a P2. Let's jump on board with FaZe. And there's a Merc. And FaZe wins a preseason race at Catalonia. And Michael gets to P2 due to El Trucker's penalty. SF Rock gets the last step of the podium. Nicely done by SF Rock. El Trucker fell to 4th position. Del Gizu coming up in 5th. Razi 6. Nerdy 7. Stan 8. Mopar will cross the line. And P9. And Wesley should come last in P10. A lot of DNFs during this race, and a lot of safety cars as well. I think we got 4 safety cars. Razzie gets the driver of the day. So nice win for FaZe, who's kicking the preseason race of season 6 really good, but obviously those points won't count. So but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this race. Even though we got a lot of safety cars, but I'm pretty sure we will get a good race 1 for season 6 next weekend at Australia, Albert Park. But yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Bye everyone.